Hey guys, welcome to your Unit 5 Lesson 5 notes on graphing linear equations. By the end of the day, you will be able to graph linear equations by using the x and y intercepts or the slope and the y-intercept. Let's do a quick review about what intercepts are. So to find the x-intercept of a graph, that's where the graph intersects the x-axis. It's going to be this point right here. That's our x-intercept. Similarly, our y-intercept is where the graph intersects the y-axis. So that's our y-intercept right there. In fact, I'm going to make these a little darker so that they stand out just a little bit. Like that. There we go. Okay, but if you don't have the graph, you just have the equation, there's a really quick trick to finding what that is, to finding the intercepts. So if we want to find the x-intercept, we're going to let y equal 0. Why is this? Why is this? Because when we look at the x-intercept, you notice that it doesn't go up or down at all. It's right on that axis. So that tells you that y is always 0. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our equation, x plus y equals 6, but we're going to let y equal 0. So we're going to substitute y for 0, actually substitute 0 for y, and now we'll solve for x. Well, plus 0, that doesn't do anything, so x equals 6. Nice. So we have an intercept at x equals 6, or rather our point is over 6 up 0. And that should match our graph, right? That is the point. 6, 0, because we go over 6, up nothing. We do the same thing for our y-intercept. Here, our y-intercept is right on the y-axis. We don't go right, we don't go left at all, telling us that it's going to be at 0 something. If x is 0, we need to figure out what is y. Again, assuming we don't have the graph, we just have our equation, x plus y equals 6. I'm just kidding. This should be to find the y-intercept. Let x equal 0 and solve for y. So we're going to take our x, let that be 0, and we solve for what y is. So x is 0. 0 plus y is 6. Well, 0 plus y is just y equals 6. So that tells us that our y-intercept is at over 0 up 6. They will not always be the same, but in this case they are. So now let's look at our table. The coordinates need to match the graph. Well, let's see. Is it true that if we go over 6, sorry, wrong color. If we go over 6 up 0, that matches our point right here, our y-intercept. Sorry, our x-intercept. And the point over 0 up 6 matches our x-intercept. Wow. That's so fun. Matches our y-intercept, and this is our x-intercept. Cool, huh? Cool, huh? Guess I switched these colors. I'm always going to make our y-intercept dark green. So it's over 0 up 6. And our x-intercept, I'll just make yellow. We don't deal with that a lot. There we go. Okay. Oh, hey, we already have this information down. The x-intercept is at over 6 up 0. The y-intercept is at over 0 up 6. Cool. So let's determine the x and y-intercept of the graph for each equation, and then we'll graph it. Yay. Okay, so first, to find the x-intercept, we need to say that y equals 0 and figure out what x is. So we've got our equation, 5y minus 4x equals 20. We're going to need it later, so I'll put it down here again. Okay. So our x-intercept is where y equals 0. We need to figure out what x is. So let's let y equal 0. So we've got 5 times 0 minus 4x equals 20. Well, 5 times 0 is just 0, so we can ignore that. We have negative 4x equals 20. Ta-da! And then we have one more quick step to solve for x. we need to divide by -4. So we have x equals -5. Nice. So our x-intercept is at -5, 0. Cool. Another trick to this, I can't really show you without showing my screen, but when y is 0, notice if we have 0, it is 0, so you can cross it off. So you can take your finger and just like cover the y part to figure out what x is, and that saves you a couple steps. But that's hard to demonstrate with a screen, so there you go. And this is the math behind why it works. Okay, so to find our y-intercept, this time we switch it around. We let x equal 0. We have our point, x equals 0, y is something. We need to figure out what y is. So again, if x equals 0, we have 5y minus 4 times 0 equals 20. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. So 5y minus 0 equals 20, which means 5y minus 0 means nothing. 5y is 20. We're almost done. We divide by 5. And we get y equals 4. So our y-intercept is at 0, 4. So there you have it. We have our two intercepts at -5, 0 and 0, 4. Now let's put them on our graph. First, let's graph our x-intercept. That'll go on our x-axis. So we go over -5, which is right here, up 0. So there's our first point. Then to graph 0, 4, we go, we're going to go over 0, up 4, which is right here. So that's our point. Now it only needs 2 points to make a line. So we just draw a line between them. Ha ha ha. But guess what, guys? A line isn't just between those 2 points. It goes on forever. It goes on and on and on. So if you want, you can like duplicate it. Or if you had a ruler, you could lie your ruler across it and then draw the whole thing. There. There it is. That's our line. That's all you have to do. Set each one equal to 0. Set each variable equal to 0. And connect the dots. So that's one way to graph a line. There's another way to graph the line, but instead of having two intercepts, you can just have the y-intercept and the slope. So let's see what happens when we have the y-intercept and the slope. Wrong color. Quick refresher. Remember what slope is? Slope is rise over run. So it's how far up we go versus how far to the right we go. But we don't have slope-intercept form yet. We need to get a form that gives us our slope and our intercept. So we have 5y minus 4x equals 20. Remember that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, because that'll give you your slope m and your intercept b. So we need to solve for y. Let's get y all by itself. To get y all by itself, just this guy right here, we need to first add 4x to both sides, giving us 5y, these cancel out, equals 4x plus 20. And then finally, to get y all by itself, we are going to divide both sides by 5. These 5s will cancel out, giving us y equals, and this is the same thing as dividing 4x by 5 and 20 by 5. So we'll just call this 4/5 x plus 20 divided by 5 is 4. And there you have it. We have slope-intercept form. Now that we know our slope, m, and we know our intercept, b, I'm going to show you a fun trick to help you remember. Our slope m tells us how the graph moves after we begin at the intercept b. I'm going to say that again. Our slope m describes how the graph moves after it begins at the intercept b. So let's begin the graph at the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 4, meaning we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our y-intercept. So we began at the y-intercept, which is b. And then we'll use rise over run of slope to show how the graph moves m. Remember, our slope is 4/5. So I'm going to rewrite that down here by our rise over run. If our slope m equals 4/5, that means it rises 4, we go up 4, over 5. So let's bring that same pattern up to our graph. Oops. Up 4 over 5. So I'm going to rise up 4. 1, 2, 3, up 4. And then I'm going to go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives me my second point. We have up 4 over 5. And now that we have our 2 dots, our 2 points, we can connect them. And again, it's not just between these 2 points, it literally goes on forever. So we can bring this whole line going down the length of the graph. And there you have it. You begin at B, your y-intercept, and then you move with the slope m. And that's how you graph. You can graph with intercept and the slope, or you can graph with 2 intercepts. That's it. That's the whole lesson. Now have a wonderful time on your homework.